Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, and let me share my screen here. Okay. All right. What a day! The last couple days, futures are red. Not really surprised to see it red. I think if you're really trying to watch the futures tonight, that's your key level, right there. Your key level, the intraday lows, because once you take that out, right? I mean, you can just kind of project a target, right? And that's going to probably break those lows. And then once you break those lows, we don't really know how this will play out. Now, what we are seeing across the market is a lot of instruments are getting close to boxes, like our elite group has a bunch of buys ready to go in boxes that should produce reactions or potentially lows. There's some instruments that are making fifth waves, and there's just very few that show like still significant downside. So what could happen to the indices is something like this. Okay, just be careful. Expecting some big crash. It may not. It may play a trick on us like this. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Finding the level to buy on the indices is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. Okay, based on the corrective pattern. Then we can use chart support to kind of pinpoint our entry. We can try to time it with the yen, where an account is in the yen. But it's probably better to look at individual instruments that have clearer structures to go long, to play this, and then, come back to the indices later. Okay, that's what I'm thinking right now. But that's just me. Okay, that's just me. And it's probably only going to get worse from here. Now, what will be interesting is bank earnings tomorrow. Will that be like, a capitulation, like massive meltdown, or will they save the market, with some unexpected surprise and pump it again? So like I said, we just don't know how this will play out exactly, but I don't think the market's done, and I think we'll break these lows no matter what happens, how it breaks. I think how it breaks will really define the bear market that we're in. If it is some generational crash to the 2009 lows, for the SPY, we would need to, based on my opinion, if the 2009 lows are in play, I mean, if this is really gonna happen, we need to just pretty much go straight down to the COVID lows. It seems almost unthinkable, impossible. That would be just the first wave. I don't know what would cause that kind of calamity, but that's what would have to happen for 2009. But the most likely path, like I said, would be probably a retest of the October lows if the grand super cycle's over. For technology, the October lows, and then the COVID lows is the final spot in the SPY, where you come down to the October lows, you bounce and come down. That's how the grand super cycle to me ends. But I don't. Like I said, we're way far away from that point to worry about that yet. But whatever happens here, I think will define the bear market. Is it the 2009 all hell breaks loose? Is it the end of the grand super cycle? Or do we still have more all-time highs? And I think if it could find support at 440, 420 in this area, we still have a shot at all-time highs and an extension of the overall bull market. That's my feeling on it. I think if it goes any lower than that and breaks some of these key levels here, especially if it starts getting close to the October 22 lows, then I think the grand super cycle is obviously ended. No matter what anyone else may say or think, the cycle's done. It's over, and we don't know how long that will take to come out. All right, guys, let's go to your super chats. And we'll go from there. And again, like I always do, I'll just start here with Anonymous. Sage, can you look at Neo? So problem with China, like you just heard Trump, he said he can delist all China stocks and he can pick. So I don't know if it's all of them, certain ones. We don't know. And when it says delist, I don't know if it means you just get the last price it traded at, or you just lose all your money. So my recommendation is not to buy anything China related. I think it's somewhat silly to risk your money given this situation we're in right now with them. I do. Unless you're going to short it. But then even short, how do you cover? How do you get the shares back to cover? Like, God knows. So I don't know. You're going to have to research that part. So I have no idea. That's uncharted territory for me. Okay, that's uncharted territory. Now the chart, I'll tell you the chart. We can go look at the chart on NEO and take a look at it. Like, we can look at that and see what it's doing. I mean, if oil's going down like it is, I can't imagine any of the EV companies are going to do well. Okay, I just can't see them doing that well. So as you can see here, we were looking for a buy here at some point, and then we realized once we stopped out that this cycle was a connector, and you see how you broke that low. So that sets up a whole new cycle lower. Okay, now the thing is, the tricky thing you've got here is you've got 3 and you've got 3, and could it make another, whatever it happens here, but the cycle broke. So unfortunately, you're going to take a whole nother leg lower. It's going to go take a whole nother leg lower. And so, again, I hate being a bearer of bad news. And I wish I had better news, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. This looks like it was a flat correction, which corrected the entire decline. And now you're taking a whole nother leg lower in the grand super cycle. And we've talked about the grand super cycle. Stocks can go to zero, right? They may never recover ever those highs, ever. There's no guarantee. So now you're in a new bear market cycle. And NEO, you can watch this trend line. As long as you're below it, it's still, I would expect, lower. If you look at this pattern, we're only looks like only a 1-2 has been completed, right? And now you're in wave 3. So it's likely to continue to push lower in 5 waves if it can still stay in existence. And I'm saying that because we don't know. What if the symbol is canceled? You can't buy it anymore. That to me is going out of existence, right? That's go to zero, right? We don't, maybe the company exists, but the stock, if you can't buy the stock anymore, then that means it goes to zero, right? I mean, you can't buy it, can't sell it, can't buy it. So once you break this low, you have probably the biggest head and shoulders pattern you can see, and that would snap. I mean, it would be catastrophic technically. There's no other way around it. All right, let's look at this. Looks like an ABC here. So let me line this back up right here real quick. So then we would need a similar thing. So let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. This is A, this is B, and we need C. Okay, we need to do that. We need to erase all that divergence. And on the weekly, and that will be that. So I don't know. So I think you're just gonna have to do what's best for you on it. Personally, I wouldn't want nothing to do with this stock anymore. So, but you guys can trade it if you want to. But good luck. All right. Mortgage rates. I do have that symbol that I've been keeping an eye on, but mortgage rates were kind of tricky here. Well, we expected them to go higher, right? We're expecting them to go higher. So we were looking for a deeper pullback, and we could still be in a connector wave. Okay, this can still be a connector wave, all right, for this move. The bond market is about to make a huge decision in any moment. A huge decision is going to take place, right? The narrative will be, oh, they crashed stocks to save bonds, and then we're coming down here. Or the bond market is out of hand, stocks have crashed because the bond market we lost control. We don't know which one it is. My bet is the two's in. This was some kind of flat here, A, B, C, and it's going to come out, and this is going to shock the world when this happens. Unfortunately, I guess I was right when I said go refinance back here. This dip can happen. If it comes down here, we will be short in bonds as an opportunity. if they do crash stocks to save bonds, well, they gave us another gift to short the bond market. Don't worry about missing the TLT trade. Who gives a shit about TLT, guys? I don't care about TLT. You know, who cares about TLT? They crash it, we'll buy you know, we'll short the bonds. Whatever it's called, not TMF, but the other one. I forget what it is, but we'll buy it. I mean, then I'm like, oh, I'll take that. You know, I'll take that gift. And then if we come out and we take out this high, we'll start more aggressively shorting all the pullbacks. But right now we're in a decision point. We don't know. What is Aladdin going to do? What's Trump going to do? What's Paul going to do? Like, I don't know what they're going to do here. But whatever they do here won't matter because we're still going to end up higher. It's just going to either delay the inevitable or it's already too late and they don't realize it yet. All right. So I wish I had more clarity, but I bet in the next couple days we're going to get a lot of clarity on the bond market. I mean, we're just really pushing higher, right? Once we take that out, then I think it's game on. It's game on. You know, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. This reaction does not look good. That reaction. See? Maybe people now know the Achilles heel, right, of the administration is bonds. And they're going to use that against them. Perhaps all these nations, you know, bow into Trump. You know, will give him all this happy talk. And then behind the scenes, they're like, sell this shit, dump this shit. Let's put pressure. Oh, you know, everything's great. We're going to be partners. And oh, we're going to, let's strike these deals. And great, yeah, we'll build factory. All this happy talk. And then meanwhile, they're like, yeah, dump this shit. And eventually it's like, that's what's going to happen. So either Paul will have to fold and help out, monetize the debt essentially. Probably why gold is starting to rally. Maybe gold's anticipating that outcome. Paul's just going to have to monetize the debt and do a operation twist and buy bonds and not even wash the money out, just monetize it, QE. Or Trump will fold completely. Just give up on this strategy. Blame Navarro, fire everybody, and this goes in the dustbins of history as one of the worst ideas ever he had. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think the bond market keeps going higher until something like that happens. But my guess is the Fed will blink. They'll get involved. And I think that's what gold is trying to tell us. And maybe the dollar too. Like, shit. Let's get out before they do some massive QE and monetization of the debt. Right? What's dumped out. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what the market's trying to tell us right now. Right? Maybe that's what the market's trying to tell us. So, all right. Next, Bitcoin Cash. We can't go into Bitcoin Cash just yet. I was looking at it the other day. We need to respect our box, but we did correct this leg. Good. We just need one more leg down. Could we talk ourselves into this being the low? Too much divergence there, right? That's just too much. So there's no way, in my opinion, and even from here to here, no way. So unfortunately, in fact, it may be a great short looking at this structure right now. It could be a great short. Right? Let's see here. Yeah, right in this area. But of course, do what's best for you. But there you go. And of course, it makes sense, right? If Bitcoin is doing something like this. And again, guys, for our basic group, I always give an update on Bitcoin. And we had, a sell area here. We fell just short. We had a sell area here. Again, these were traders' boxes. I didn't really encourage these trades, but I said, hey, if you were day trading, this is, you want to give it a shot, you could try it. And that produced a massive reaction lower. And then same thing. The other night, I posted this video, and I'm like, oh, this would be the area it would dump. And, well, oh, my God, it dumped. I mean, shocker. So I don't know. The market is behaving very technically with the bearish continuations. I mean, we had the shorts here. I mean, it's just very technical on the bearish path. We're still following the downtrend line, and we're nowhere near the box. So I don't know. I mean, could this truncate? Yes. I don't think this is the final move. I don't think this is the final move. I was looking at this. Is this ABC and finished? Again, if we look at the 4 hour, you've got too much divergence here. So we still need wave 3. On the shorter time frame, let's take a look at where we are here. So the shorter time frame, that one looks good. You know, so maybe this is still within 3, right? Within 3, and then this is some kind of like 1, 2, right? That's probably the right count. But I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, right? I'm not trying to be a perma bear chartist. So I think if I label it like this, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and then it traps more people again. And then you get the crash. I mean, I'm just showing you a couple ideas, but it can easily be a 1, 2, 1, 2. So, I mean, you can't be bullish on crypto until this correction ends in Bitcoin. And there's no signs. There's no signs it's ending. The only sign is it's continuing. Every bearish setup has worked. I mean, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost like 5 for 5 on bearish setups. I mean, holy crap. That probably means we got the trend is right. We're trading the right side of the market, guys. And if you're listening or following anyone that is not saying that, I mean, this is a lot of evidence that says otherwise. Now, you know, I still can't, like I said, we only have 3 here, so you still can't rule out a big ass connector here. Okay. A big connector, maybe from this, maybe we'll say from here, A, B, C, but they got to come back and take this out. They can't do that. Why would I put that? That's what a perma bull chartist would put, right? Because that's not what the evidence is showing me, right? If the dollar's going down, why is Bitcoin going down? That's not good either. So this is the most bullish possibility, but we need to take this high out like in the next day or two. If we can't, or if we take this low out, it's game over. You're going to see a meltdown in crypto. You're going to see the capitulation, and that's where Bitcoin Cash and just pick your favorite coin will all be at buys, and you'll just have to pick. You can't buy everything, so you're just going to have to pick strategically which ones have the best setup, are in your box. Show the divergence erased, show like the best long-term setup, right? Which ones have made new highs, which ones haven't, which ones have been in a bear market since it's existing, and then you have to decide which ones are worth your money or not, right? And because you're not gonna be able to buy everything, because when Bitcoin is down here, everything's gonna be a buy, everything, you know, so you can't buy them all. So you're gonna have to pick. So we're gonna have to really study. And that's what I'm going to be doing and trying to help our groups out is what do we want to pick, right? Like our elite group will be like, what do we want to pick to anticipate the next run will be in the right coins and not stuck in another Litecoin or some shit like that, okay? All right, guys, let's see. Let your winners ride. Cava. Yeah, let's take a look at this Cava stock. Very popular, overvalued, and as you know, overvalued is not what people want right now. Okay, overvalued is not looking good. So again, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt here in 5 waves. I can label this more bearish, right? I can be a perma bear chartist and label this very bearish, but I don't want to. I want to label it like more realistic. Okay, so let's go to the daily time frame. Now, you see the peak. We're still in the downtrend, right? The only cycle that we've corrected was this leg, not this whole leg. So what I would have to say for right now is we're still in 4. We'll make another 5. Okay, that's what I have to say. I had to update this chart in a little bit. So we're in this kind of ABC flat, right? We're in this flat. Let's take a look at this flat. If it's a flat, let's see what we have here. So see how we had 5 waves up here? See, this is why I put the flat there and I put the 4 there. Yeah, we never broke that high. So I'm actually going to go back. I think I'm going to revert to this label, and you only have 3 up. So I'm going to revert to this, and then we'll get more data, and then we can decide what to do. Okay, and if that's the count, then it could get to 64.55, right? But here's the problem. Here's the problem. We only have 5 waves down, and as you know, Elliott wave, you need a 3-wave correction, so you need a 5, 3, 5. So what this means is this bounce will fail again. So it's a trader's box. I call it a trader's box, but it's definitely not a box that I would want to buy or look for. And what the correction would look like is something like this. Okay, of course I wouldn't go negative, but you get the idea. Again, this implies, if this is the count, this is what I'm talking about, why the indices may not have this big super crash, at least not yet, okay? Because you have a lot of stocks in this look, and this is a very neutral chartist view of the market. Now, I can't be a perma bear, all right? I can totally be a perma bear, all right? And say, oh no, is something way different, okay? No, you're way wrong here. And this is A, right? A, B, C, and this is like a W, and maybe I even put X here, right? X, and we'll get Y, right? I could do that. Where would that target be? That would be unthinkable, right, for investors. Where does it go? You see negative. It's like, holy shit, it can't go negative. Well, what it means is it definitely going to come back and retest these lows or break them. It means wipeout. Go back to whatever P, whatever it would be, P10, P11, whatever it should be, it will trade at. Not PE, 100 or wherever the hell it is right now. So my point is, that's to me a perma bear. A perma bear chartist would do that. So this is the most likely path. So as I'm labeling everything, guys, I'm trying to give you like a neutral path, not a perma bear path. Okay, I'm just trying to show you a path that I think the most likely path. All right, guys, something like that. I don't think that's 5. I don't think that's 5. I did for a minute, but I don't think it is. I think we're still in 5. All right. Now, if you take this high out, then you go back to the WXY structure. But of course, it could rally quite significantly, and then, but it would fail eventually. All right. MP buy zone. I wouldn't buy it. There's no buy zone. The buy zone is very speculative. Here's your buy zone. Very speculative. If you want to give it a shot at this wave 5, it's at 63.60, 55.59, and you do have a little bit of chart support there. So it should work out there. You should. If it's 5, you'll look like a genius. You'll make a lot of money, but then if you hold on too long, you're going to lose it all. I'm almost certain you'll lose it all later, whenever this ends. But a trader's box. It's a trader's box. It's a trader's box. All right, MP. Let's take a look. So this one we were trying to be super bullish, but obviously, that was a long time ago when we looked at it. The market's done a lot. The market has humbled us recently, so we have to take a more practical view, right? That was probably too bullish. So this is what we're looking at. This has got to be what we're looking at here. And the reason I label it, look, you see where the peak is? It's way back here. But we have to call what it is, right? Not, so I thought it would be more bullish. We broke the cycle, so we're correcting this. So this is how we have to label it. It looks like you've got, again, another leg lower coming. 1, 2, 3, a connector that failed. So you're going to have another leg lower. Now this one we have a buy target. This one we can project a target. 2066, 1939. So there you go. Right in there. And again, it should bounce. but there's no guarantee of a new high. You can get a bounce. It can easily go lower. So understand that. But that's a good area. As you lose the wave 5, you're right between the 4 and the 2 here, somewhere in there. Okay. And then DRS. Let's take a look at that. All right, so that one almost broke the low, sending up another leg lower. It came close. So, you know, I have it in a 5. So I think we'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it held the low. Now look, this is only 3 waves up. So, but look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it's still in the correction. But it's in a connector wave. It's in a connector wave. So we don't know, right? It could be and then fail. So I think it's in a connector wave. It could push a little higher and then fail, or it can just fail at any moment. But we can't project the target until we start to see a turn lower. But I think this is 3 waves up. I don't like to trade it. Now, could it be an end in diagonal? Sure, it could be. And that needs 3, you know, 3s. 3, 3, 3, 3. So this one has too many possibilities. We could try to look at the higher time frames. It's still in the bull market here. The weekly cycle. Oh, it's just right there. If the weekly cycle can break that trend line, I would say, let's say it's in, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt it's in wave 5. And it's going to go higher. So I think if I had to be forced to label it, I would label it like this. And you can decide to do what's best for you with that. And then LUC MF. Let's take a look. So we did have this little box here. I don't know what happened. And then we broke the low. Okay, so it looks like it double corrected back down here with this connector. Erase divergence. Let's look at the 4-hour. Oh yeah, see, that's what I like to see. So more than likely, that's your 4. Okay, so that's got to be your 4. So it just did like this big double correction. And now it's pushing out, right? So it's probably like a 1, 2, and it'll finish off this top. And then you'll have a big pullback. A big pullback. Unless you can erase this divergence and it extends. But you got a lot of work to do that. So, but we all, I think gold's in its final move higher. But who knows? Who knows? So that's the count here, guys. That's the count. All right. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. Other questions. I'll go back to people's comments after I do the super chats. XRP, yeah. Oh, holy crap! Look at that. Yeah, doesn't look good. Although, man, they really did pump it this afternoon. They tried to save this shit, huh? They tried to save this with some. I guess there was some more happy talk. I was sitting in the dentist. I didn't know what was happening, and I come back and I was like, oh damn! I thought this. For some reason, I thought it hit 7% and the circuit breaker didn't go off. Was that like, did it like not work? Is that a bad sign for the market? Like what if it doesn't work? What if we just go down to the cove? What if this 20% one doesn't work? I mean, damn, I don't know what happened there. No one's really talking about that, but I'm pretty sure these indices, the SPX and the NASDAQ, I thought it hit 7. But they just kept trading, I guess. I guess it was like maybe the guy that was supposed to pump it, they knew was coming in, and they didn't want to interrupt that, interrupt Aladdin from buying the market. Because Trump was about to speak, or maybe it would be too embarrassing for the administration to have a circuit breaker fire right before Trump's, get together. That happened this afternoon. I don't know, but that's weird. But man, yeah. Well, guys, now you understand the strategy. Guys, if you're new to my channel and you're watching me tonight, not a lot of people, but a few people were upset we didn't get this pump. Although, if I could show you my videos several weeks ago, I did have a box here to buy the SPY right around this area. I did, and anyone you can put in the chat. You know, I'm not bullshitting you guys. We had the box here. I took it off because I was worried it would just continue to melt down, and I didn't want people to lose money. But I said, if you want to stay in the box, you could get a double correction higher and look like a genius, but you guys can decide to do that if you want to. Some people, I think, did that, and they looked like a genius. Now, once we got that reaction, we were like, we need to short it, right? The trend is lower. We have all these stocks with incomplete sequences. We have the yen. We have all this stuff going on. The odds are, and of course, the fundamental case. I mean, the tariffs didn't go away. China, they're doubling down. People are still pissed at Trump, pissed at this. None of that's changed. So we have all that on our side. So take the short and we take the tailwinds. And so those tailwinds really helped us today. And we may end up making more money than the guy that got that. So you see what I'm saying? So we always have the bigger picture in mind on our channel. So we don't catch every swing because I don't want to put you guys at risk. We try to trade with the trend in good setups. And this was a gift. And the best analogy is if let's say you're in a bull market, chomping along, and one day you wake up, there's a flash crash, right? We had that in 2010. There's a flash crash. Oh my God. What do you do if you're an investor? You just go buy it. You don't ask what you buy it, right? You buy it because it's a flash crash. And then the trend comes back and you make it. You're like, wow, what a gift. What idiot who blew up. Thank you for giving me your stock. This is kind of the opposite. This was a crash upward. And we as shorts need to say, oh my God, who gave us that gift? Sure, we'll thank you. You know, thank you very much. Sure, I'll take that. You know, and that's what the market gave us essentially. Allowed us to reload. And guys, most people that were short from these other areas, they had already taken profit, right? So it isn't like we got squeezed. I'm sure someone got squeezed. I'm sure some idiot shorted down here and got blown up, which I would never have recommended, or I would never be in my strategy to say go short this, right? So no, hopefully no one that's subscribed to me got blown up with that short. I hope not. But somebody, maybe they did, they didn't. But anyway, we that's how we're trading the market, guys, and we do this every day. All right, this is how we do it. And it's again, the bulls can still come back and take it out, but we still make good money, right? And we had the trend on our side. We had a lot. The odds were better than just maybe buying. Like we could have bought down here and then just rolling the dice and getting lucky for a pump, because we could have easily, the trend could have just kept going and we could have been stopped out. So this wasn't a good buy here. This was a very risky buy, but those people did get a lot of reward for that risk. But it was not part of my system to take that kind of chance. I don't take those chances with the trades I show you guys. All right, enough of that. All right, XRP. XRP, guys, how is XRP doing? So XRP is, we had that key level of support, and I mentioned if it breaks it, I kind of gave you the next area it's likely to go to, right? And it looks like it did break that level, right? So it did open up a new bearish decline here. So it's still in this connector wave, but it's gonna take a little bit of a detour. But the good thing is we can project a target, right? We know where to expect. We probably have a good understanding of where we can expect it to go to. And I'll draw this box here, right? We'll leave that over here. So it looks like it can go somewhere to like 133. You have a little bit of chart support there, not a lot. And you have this cluster of support. So I think you'll be okay. It may just take a slow grind down there. Let's look at this pattern. 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, and then you have another 3, 3, 3, and then you have 5 and a B, So you need one more. You need like one more swing down, and that's it. Okay, so that's what it looks like to me right now. But you're in the thick of a connector wave. But by breaking this low, it's likely to visit this area at some point, and you'll need to make sure you erase divergence. And you're already starting to do that, but you'll definitely do that when that final push comes. You could also watch this trend line. As long as you're behind it, it's going to kind of just grind lower. And essentially, what is that? Like a bull flag? It looks almost like a bull flag, maybe, or something like that. Right? Let's draw that bull flag. Maybe it finds lands on this line somewhere. I don't know. Good luck on that. And then Devon. So oil's got some dark days ahead of it potentially, but it is set up for a potential relief rally soon in this area, somewhere in this area. Devon's likely to bounce, but then go take another leg lower. Oil's likely to bounce and go down again. Okay, now oil could still crash correct, just crash correct, but Devon's gonna have the oil patch has some dark days ahead of it. Okay, it's not something I'll be entertaining long positions until oil's in a better setup. All right, so we do have this big box here. We're getting close to it. It comes from this connector, I think. And it's been really stuck in the mud here for a while, real bearish, and we are in the final leg down. We'll need to erase all that divergence. Okay, so it looks like to me we're in. So there's a couple possibilities. I could be more bullish and say that's just A, B, C, and it's going to hit 21, and then it's going to trade. It's going to trade up, and then oil makes a lower low, but this makes a lower high, or it's going to make 5 waves down. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do something like this later, and Y does something like that, and it goes to single digits. But either way, I'm not interested in buying energy until oil hits our lows, until we're convinced the oil has bottomed. Okay, and until then, you might want to short the rallies until then. And we were waiting for this meltdown in oil, guys. We've been waiting for a year on this, and we got really bullish because it was like at the decision point. And again, I don't want to be a perma bear. I'm like, all right, well, either oil's going to have this epic meltdown, which at the time didn't seem possible, or we're going to have a massive breakout. So we bet on the breakout. Yeah, we lost a little bit on Exxon, but now that we know the direction, this shit's going to melt down for a while. But this area should see a reaction and buyers. But look at the box; it's huge. So I think, and you see the WA. You see how it took from April 11th. To December, so it took almost half a year, a little over half a year. This will probably take just as long to go through. All right. So again, I hate bringing bad news, but guys, I hate to break it to you. The market's bearish. Most things are going down. Like I hate to say that. Now there'll be bounces. There are going to be bounces that we can play, and we will play them. But if the indices are going down, if the captain is going down, the ship sinks with it. Like all the passengers sink with the ship, right? If the Titanic sinks, if the indices crash and they're going down, all the passengers die too with it typically. So the problem is the market is working against your trades right now. The headwind, the trend is lower until we can break out, which is we got to take these highs back out. There's no bullish case until those highs come back out. And the way things going tonight, it doesn't look good. Okay, so I'm just a weatherman telling you the weather. You're in the middle of a storm, and it could get a lot worse, but it's maybe coming close to the conclusion. But by the end of it, though, there could be like a Cat 5, like mass destruction that needs to get cleaned up, a mess. So I don't know where we're going to be with it, but I think just right now, I would just expect more downside and be defensive. Look for shorts. Look for look for hedges if you can't sell or you're in long-term positions you don't want to. But don't get your hopes up that you're 3 or 4 digit, like 3 or 4 letter symbols can be special and go higher, because the whole ship, everything's going to go down. The whole ship will sink. All the passengers will die in the ship as it sinks. Trust me. And maybe even gold too eventually. All right. It's just the nature of the market we're in. Guys, we're in a major cycle. And if the grand super cycle is over, it's probably going to be a lot more downside than people can imagine, I think. Can even contemplate. But we'll let that happen. All right. Let's go to the next question. WEN. Wendy's. Oh, I haven't looked at that in a long time. What's that one up to? Okay, yeah, we had this pattern a long time ago. I mean, damn, it's been a long time. It looks like we have it in a 1-2-1-2 with a big ass flat. That's I mean, I must have updated this, months and months ago. So it looks like it's kind of playing out the way we had it. Let's see. ABC. Another ABC. So loves flat. Loves to do flats. Maybe that's your first 3 and 4 right there. Yeah. Okay. So it's got to grind lower a little bit more. Something like that is what I'm thinking. Looking at where it's got to go, I wouldn't be surprised if that's still another 1-2 right there. So even though I could label it a 3, I wouldn't be surprised because it needs more extension to the downside. But we're definitely looking to retest these lows. All right. And that's what we've always expected in this symbol. Like, that's what we've always expected would happen. And it's going according to plan, just taking a long time to get there. Looks like, yeah, 1-2-1-2. So I don't think it's 5 up because I think this is 3. So we'll just leave it labeled this way. So I don't see it ending yet. This is 3 up, 3 down, and you did break the low. So you did set up a new sequence lower. So yeah, it should continue lower. All that divergence, see that? That's all going to get erased. There's going to be like, boom, panic. And that'll be it. So could be the worst time to buy it right now. Could be the absolute worst time. But like I said, it may not be a 3-4 here. All right, MRK. What is that one? Oh, Merck. Yeah, let's take a look at healthcare. So the XLV is getting close to a potential area for a bounce. That should support the sector. But like I've mentioned before, the bounces can fail. So you see where the peaks are way back here. So either this is a massive extended fifth that will essentially make the company go bankrupt, or it's in a 1-2-1-2 pattern, which I'd rather say it's in a 1-2-1-2 pattern. Because I mean, I'm not a perma bear either. So this is correct in the cycle from 2009. Shocker. So this is correct in the 2009 cycle. And I say shocker because most of the market is starting to correct that cycle. So where are we in this impulse? Interesting. You see the peak is right here. I mean, this is not... I hope this... Now, if this is an extended fifth wave, we could come all the way back down to $33. We'll lose this whole thing. I don't think it is because of the way we topped here. We are correct in that whole cycle with that low. Let's see. Let's go to the monthly again. Yeah, I think this one... I think we'll call that the first leg, like right in here. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. This is like, I think, the first leg. And then this is another leg. Yeah, I think this is the count. So, wait a minute, did I do that right? Wrong, my bad. I brought the wrong one over. Like this. So I think it's something like this. And, I mean, healthcare is almost in the box, okay? Healthcare is almost in the box. This could be a flat. This top. If it is, you know, you see how you kind of ended the cycle already with this bounce. You ended the cycle with no divergence, but then you broke the low again. I'm going to call that a fifth wave, even though I'm not going to call this like a WX here, because if it's a WX, right, then you're looking at the 33 target. Like, that's what I was talking about before. I'm going to label it more realistic. Something like this. Okay. And then you'll have to decide how you want to trade it, because there's two possibilities here. It's either that, and then once the XLV hits the box, this thing's ready to roll again. And another one too. Right, bull market continues. Maybe it tags the historical trend line here. This trend line gets tagged, and the bull market continues, and that'll be that. So I think that's how I'd label it, and I think the XLV is key. Now, if the XLV breaks down, then we're looking at a WX, and this will actually erase divergence at the shorter. So the shorter time frame, you want to see divergence to show the wave 5. Okay, if you erase divergence on the shorter time frames, then it could be turning into a Y wave, and then you could be heading to this. Then you may want to leave the trade, but it really is hard to find the like if I was like, you got to buy this, there's a gun to your head, you're gonna have to buy it. I probably would wait to somewhere around like $69, $70. I mean, personally, or more convincing reversal. And by breaking the low, that's not very convincing to me. And in the shorter time frame, it looks like all you did is make a 1-2, right? This looks like a 1-2 here. Something like that. That's what I think is going to play out. All right, good luck on that. First Solar, you know, the problem I've got with First Solar is if oil's going down, these things should have a hard time finding support. So we were watching this in our group, but it just was too bearish. We saw some reactions, and they kept failing. We need to erase these boxes just so I don't mislead you guys here. But we had charted this. It's been off this peak. It's in the correct in this whole cycle all the way back. I guess when did this bottom? Way back. 2012. So it's correct in the 2012 cycle. And it looks like to me, again, I'll get rid of some of this labeling so we can actually see it better. Okay. So it looks like to me that you can see this bounce here did correct the whole move, this whole thing, but it failed, right? It failed. So it's probably, again, it can't be a WXY because that means it's going to 0, right? Look at that. There's no way. So more than likely, it's an impulse, right? It's an impulse down from this peak. Like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But as we know, An impulse, you need 3. I don't think it's a flat. I mean, could it be a flat from this peak? It's too big. So I don't think it's a flat. So I think you'll get something like a, maybe something like that. All right. I don't know. Like, it's just an idea. But that's why we don't trade it anymore, because it doesn't have a good setup. The setup's lost. And you're in some kind of fifth wave here. All right. That's how I would look at it. And that's being generous, because this bounce did technically correct this whole leg. So, I mean, I'm being generous when I say it's a 5. It can be the ultimate annihilation. It can be a WX. Okay? And honestly, if that's the case, we're going all the way back to the lows. We're going all the way back down to these lows down here. So, I don't recommend buying. And there's really no good short setup, because why would you short here? What if it's a wave 5? It just punt. So it's really not something I'm interested in trading or buying right now. I think we'll know soon. It's more likely it's a fifth wave, but I can't guarantee it. Unfortunately, we've seen shallow connectors so many times, and let's look here. So yeah, I mean, I would still label this way. So maybe, like, again, that fifth wave could be close to finishing for all we know. And then you get a big rally again, up to like 150, 160 or something. But whatever happens, it'll probably fail. All right? It really needed to hold these lows, and it didn't. And that's where our group just kind of said, all right, we can't trade this anymore. All right? It makes sense. Oil is bad. Cheap oil, people means cheap energy. They don't want solar. Higher rates, they go to take out loans, and guess what? They can't afford it. The cost-benefit analysis looks like crap. Also, I mean, last I heard, on a lot of these panels made in China. I don't think for solars, I think that's an American company. I don't know where they make their panels completely, but I'm just saying that industry isn't, so I don't know. I mean, it's just some things to think about, so. VNRX. Let's look at VNRX. All right, haven't seen that one before. So one thing you need to know with the small caps, again, is with the Russell set to go lower. These are always going to be under pressure. From a chart standpoint, it's going to be hard to find a target. This is your best guess at finding one, 1766. You could get a reaction there if you're lucky. And looking at it from this peak, you have 3 down. And what is that? Let's look at that wave. And 5 up, so it's like some kind of flat connector here. Some kind of flat connector. Something like that. See, no divergence there. So you got some kind of flat connector. Now you're in that. And now you need to try to count your impulse out and see if you get lucky. Because when this finishes, you'll get a big reaction. You should get a reaction. Right? It's close. It's close. Yeah. So I'd say it's close. I mean, honestly, it could end at any moment. I mean, we don't, you could, so it's getting close to an area to react. Okay. Honestly, any moment, if this is right. Yeah, any moment. Any moment. Like today. You could have bought it today. But again, I don't know. Like, it's a highly speculative thing. It isn't in the box yet. So this could still be in 5 and extend. But yeah, maybe you'll get lucky at the casino and get a pump. Right? It's likely to fail. But if you're correct in this whole thing, it could be a pretty nice little pump there. Catch some shorts by surprise. So good luck on that. But that's how I look at this count right now. This count. What sector do they trade in? They are biological, healthcare. XLV's close to a box. How's the XBI? Still in our box. It cannot break 61. You could get a reaction. I see the ingredients are there for a bounce for sure in that sector. Now if the XBI breaks this level, then that setup here is lost, and boy, this thing will go down to like $30. So I don't know. The conditions are there. Just don't know. Just don't know. The Russell is not working for you though. The Russell is definitely not on your side, but the sector could be. So who knows? You may get lucky at the casino. You don't know. You may be able to buy it and get that pump. I don't know. But this. I'll just give you this count, and you can do what's best for you, man. All right, guys. Let me go through your normal comments. I already did Neo, man. Solana for me is still got another leg lower. Still looking for that $90-$80 area. I think that's where we had it. Somewhere in there. Yeah, we still gotta get down there. Oh my God, 500. Again, I'm not watching the news. I don't know if China's done some retaliation or what, but we don't care. Honestly, we just care about this level. If we break this tonight, the Bears did it. The Bears are winning, and it's just the way it is, guys. It doesn't look good. All right. I think here's what I think. I think this corrective sequence is going to end very soon. This is going to end very soon, and then I do think we rally or trade sideways. Maybe some things rally hard, some things trade sideways, some things like chop for the summer, because the markets historically never crash. Usually by April the markets are more stable, right? Seasonality should start to help a little bit, but October is made for crashes, guys. Markets don't typically crash in April, right? We're past March, right? The dot-com bubble burst in March, but it wasn't like people were jumping out of buildings and shit like that. And it went down a lot, but it was so March we went down a lot, and the Nasdaq does have precedent to pop. The last Nasdaq bubble did pop in March, and how fitting that this one did as well. So maybe technology has a history in March, but the market typically has its crash waves in October, and that would be the perfect three-wave sequence, right? Grand super cycle ends, you come down, you bounce all summer, October comes, and then you get the crash wave. That's typically what you see in the market, guys. It's typically what you see. So my thinking is, if we do get a big wave down to 440 SPY and you want to trade and you're buying and things stabilize, cool. But I wouldn't fall in love with your positions too much, because it's likely that you're in a connector wave. But hey, that's good trading, right? It's good trading. But understand the bigger picture, because if we come down here, it's likely the grand super cycle's over. I'm just saying. Now, if this somehow can just be like a fifth wave, maybe, and just, it doesn't come down to 440, or let's say 420, 400. Maybe it just makes a new low just like that, maybe just breaks the low like that, then you may be able to get new all-time highs, I think. But then you could probably call this like a fifth wave. And then we have to go back to probably like, okay, it was a flat here, an A, B, C, and this was some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the flat is over, and you're going to go to new all-time highs. So that's why we don't know yet, but I'll be surprised. We never seen in the history of the market, the markets just crash in April. It just doesn't happen. I mean, and when I say crash, I'm talking like 1929 style, guys, or 1987 style. I'm not talking like flash crash or anything like. I'm talking like historic, like a historic thing you'll tell your grandkids about that you lived through. Like they'll talk about forever. That type of thing doesn't typically happen in April in the market. It just doesn't. But that's more that for some reason the market loves to do that in the fall, in October specifically. You know, that's when our worst crashes have always happened. Hey, and I'm just giving you my thoughts. If AMC and GME or if the indices could come down here and make new lows and GME is still at 24, 25, then yeah, then something's up with GME, man, because that's hidden bullish divergence extreme. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's just see where it's trading when this pullback happens. Okay. Yeah, gold's fifth wave. Yeah, we watched that play out, and now we're starting to get to like blow off top phase, right? And we're racing divergence even tonight, right? And that is turning this into another one too. And this will just keep pushing. I'll update the chart later, but it's just going to keep pushing. And again, I think the market is anticipating, the Fed having to come in here at some point and monetize the debt. I think that's what it's predicting. I think that's what the market is anticipating. And they're like, they want to get out while the getting's good, right? Because the Fed, they're thinking there's no way the Fed's going to let the bond market crash upward. They're going to intervene. Now, my chart says their intervention will fail unless they wait to intervene until we're up here. I mean, they would probably be ended as an institution if they don't do nothing until we're up here. But my guess is we'll start to break out. They're going to intervene. It's going to be perceived to be inflationary, and then of course we'll pull back hard on that. But then whatever they did would fail and would still go up, and then the market technicals would finally work itself out. That's what I think. Or maybe they would raise rates and like to calm it back down again. Who knows? But I don't know. We're living in some interesting times, maybe historic times right now for these markets, guys. Yeah, IWM could be counted down as 5. I give you that. It can be, but it also can be more bearish, and I guess we'll find out soon enough. If it's 5, then of course it's going to rally hard, but that should fail again. It has to stay under 2 minute. Okay, it has to be 7% for more than 2 minutes. All right, well, cool. I didn't know that. Learned something new. Do you think Palantir is still bearish? Yes. The reason why, guys, is it made a lower low sequence, and using my system, that's a signal that more downside is needed. And you're like, what do you mean by lower low sequence? Well, we traded down, right? We came back up. Now, see, we broke that low. And some people talk themselves into it, like, okay, we'll ignore that. But then you broke the low again, so now you can't ignore it. So it's got a new sequence lower. So this rally is highly likely to fail, highly likely, and we could see lower down in this box. Okay, so we just got to let it play out. Now it could be in a bigger connector and play around with traders, but it's more likely it's going to fail. It's going to fail. All right. You see that divergence here between that peak and that peak. So you can't even call this truncated, right? You can't call it truncated, right? It's still, this bounce is still in the first cycle, right? It wasn't a connector wave. You see, it's still in the corrective cycle. You're still in the correction. You're still in this correction from this peak. So this is the count. This will be your connector, and we'll see. Now, if it starts to go higher, then you're just going to have a bigger connector. And we just change our target, okay? But yeah, I mean, it's likely to do that. Where's our chart support on this thing? Yeah, the peak is right here, 40. Yeah, that's probably right around there. I guess some big gap here. So good luck. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all of that. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I don't mind doing the updates. I don't mind. Yeah, inflation. Like I always show that chart from Venezuela. Hyperinflation. You show the indices; they went parabolic under hyper. But hey, it cost of bread. Bread was what $100 a loaf. But hey, man, my indices went up. The permabull chart worked out. I got my $1 million Bitcoin, but I can't buy shit with it. So yeah, that's good. You better be careful what you wish for. Permabulls out there, it may be bullish for all the wrong reasons. So you just don't know, right? We hope that doesn't happen. DXY went under. Yeah, it looks like I got to look at DXY. Maybe DXY is having a meltdown. Maybe we're having a collapse at $1. Right in front of our face, and we're not recognizing it. Isn't that something? Yeah, I mean, for me, if you want to understand bearish, watch the futures and just watch the intraday lows. Today's intraday lows. If any one of these major indices takes out the intraday lows, it's game on. Bears have control of this market, guys. No matter what happens, even if they pump this shit back up in the morning, once this low breaks, the bears are back in control, guys. Okay. If they can't break the low, then I don't know. It's 50-50 what happens. But I still think I would still lean bearish. All right, that's just me. Okay, but if this is any indication of what's going to happen, it looks like those intraday lows are going to be taken out. Okay. The other sign is look at some of the large cap tech stocks. If they take out those not the intraday lows, but the lows a few days ago, all those major lows, then that's a sign that where we're going to. So we don't have that yet, but this is definitely not what the bulls want to see tonight. That's probably not. This is not what they want to be looking at on their screen right now. That is not what they want to be. How's the Nikkei doing? Yeah, see, the Nikkei still got lower. So yeah, I mean, it's highly unlikely. Like I said, I think the market is set up for more downside, but don't be surprised for the whipsaw, guys. Just don't be too bearish down here, because a lot of stocks and instruments are going to hit boxes and they could support the market, right? So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. The time to be bearish was up here. It's too late. If you didn't short and you're down here, my opinion, it's too late. You're going to have to wait on the sidelines. Wait for another pump, another tweet, and get on the short side then. Because you could get whipsawed back around. Okay? Crypto. Cool, man. Thanks again. Oh, that's great. You didn't have to give me that. But hey, I appreciate it. I do work hard, and I'm glad that I'm helping people make money. Cool. Thanks again. I really appreciate helping you out. Another way, all you guys can help me is tell your friends about my channel. I want to get more members. The Bitcoin setups is $5 a month, and you get my Bitcoin updates. And I get, the pros is the big cap tech, and then elites. I do all these symbols, a bunch of things, pretty much the rest of the market. And I'll say this: once I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to add more perks, be able to cover more symbols, and not increase our prices. So you'll benefit, your friend benefits, I benefit. So just keep that message up. So guys, yen is still falling. Well, that's also a tell, guys. If the yen is when you say falling, I mean strengthening. JPY, USD JPY is going down. That pushed pressure on the market. It's been the biggest tell in the market. It's the biggest edge we have had in this correction. It is the way we were one step ahead of everyone else. Was the Japanese yen. In August was the clue, right, to pay attention to it. And it hasn't let us down yet. Now, at some point, that correlation is going to end because everyone's going to figure it out. Actually, I heard it on TV tonight. People are starting to notice. So that's usually means it may. But maybe the bond market's now going to be the driver, right? Maybe as rates keep pushing higher. Like I said, the bonds are in a lose-lose, I think. The bond market, if the bond market breaks out higher, there's going to be a freak out. Indices have a reason to sell off, and oh my God, it's the end of the world. But if it crashes, they'll say, oh my God, stocks are crashing to save the bond market, and people will rush into bonds out of stocks. So it's a lose-lose for the market. It's like there's going to be no narrative that's going to be positive for the market when this thing makes its move. It's going to be a big move. It's going to be a big move down or a big move up. So perhaps this is going to take the baton from the yen a little bit in the narrative. Just what I'm thinking. I don't know. And I wonder if people are selling bonds to prop up the stock market. Aladdin, right? I was wondering if that's, or maybe they're selling bonds to get, to get Trump to change his mind. God knows why, but this what's happening. We're seeing it happen. Thanks, Crypto. Mickey. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You may ask for a bailout like China. Who do you mean by they? China will drop bombs tonight. I think China is smart in a way that they don't like to be seen as the aggressor typically. So I don't think they will antagonize. I think they always will retaliate in kind. So the next move is if Trump delists, they'll do something else. And then they'll probably go after one of our companies and remove them from their market, just like we did, but in their way of doing it. So I don't know what that means. And I threw this out there on my channel. I'm like, what would stop China from just going into the factories of Apple and just taking that shit over and saying, hey, this shit's ours now. Sorry. Right. What are we going to do? We're not going to send our military in. We're not. What are we going to say? Go on Fox News and whine and complain? Oh, that's not fair. They're not following trade, trade war, the rules of trade war. We need to, litigate this or like they're just going to give us the middle finger and do it because they're a communist nation and they can just do that shit. Like our government could never do that without all these checks and balances and talking heads and pundits and like they just do it. So I think they have some big cards they can play that and they really just give the West the middle finger. So I think if Trump does the delisting of the stocks, that's gonna create some nasty shit, man. That's gonna really, I think, rev things up. But that's what I think. So do I expect them to do something tonight? Probably not. Probably do nothing. But I think the delisting of the Chinese stocks is gotta spook the market, man. Just by saying that. Bombs in news. Yeah, that's what I meant. I figured you meant that. Yeah, maybe they did. Okay, yeah. So I don't know all the details. And again, I'm not saying who's right or wrong in this. It's just creating noise for us to trade. I don't have an opinion. But I would just say that it doesn't seem like things are getting better between the two, and it is a tit for tat. And yeah, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know how this is going to end. What if China just wants to take Taiwan? Just to get a new card in the game, right? That they're playing, and whew, I mean, who would stop them if they feel like backed into a corner? Maybe they would do it. I don't know. So good. I think we're done. I think that's it. I think that's all we've got. Any open positions? All the positions I list for our members are positions that either I take. Again, I can't buy them all myself, right? I can't take everything. So that's what there are. I don't share my positions because that's how I can get into trouble, right? I'm not your financial advisor, and I can't tell you what to do. So that's why I always say do what's best for you. So, but I never list a position on my spreadsheet that I wouldn't personally take. And a lot of them I do take myself. So that's how it works. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, those are my members. Those are my members all know that. All right, guys. Well, cool. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, Anthony. And tonight, lot of blood on the screen. We'll see if it sticks. Again, it's kind of meaningless unless you can get those intraday lows out. It's just noise, traders noise. But you take out the intraday lows, and I think the direction is clear. All right, guys, good luck.